I just think there was a missed opportunity, Oscars. There should have been a post-credit scene where this man was recruited by Chris Rock to form a new Sinister Six. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. I don't usually make a video like this, but this stuff is just way too juicy to talk about to completely ignore, especially since it revolves in the movie space. A lot of you might have heard it by now, but last night's Oscars were pretty insane. What was supposed to be one of the most professional magical nights in Hollywood, recognizing a bunch of stars and talents for their work of the previous year, just turned into wild chaos, and there was only one thing I could think about before I went to bed. And that, of course, was the slap heard around the world between Will Smith and Chris Rock. And like I said, this topic's a little unconventional for me. I don't necessarily like to dive into gossip or controversial things where people have to pick a side and make all the world upset. I'm here to entertain and have fun. But I think there's really an interesting conversation to have about the Oscars, not just what happened between Chris Rock and Will Smith, but just the show in general and how it's really declined over recent years to where it's something that in the near future might not even be televised anymore. So I'm not only going to be talking about the Chris Rock and Will Smith situation, I'm just going to be talking about the Oscars in general, and I want to hear from you guys down below. Of course, everyone's going to have their own opinion and side on that situation, but as far as the Oscar goes, like, what do you think the future of this is? Because it's not looking great for the award ceremony, and yet it's such an important part of Hollywood that a lot of people desperately want those awards. But getting into it, like, what's happened to the Oscars, man? This was a show I watched every year. It's always great to see these celebrities gathered up in a room, having a bit of a laugh, and then celebrating some of the best works that came out that year. But over recent years, if you're looking at the viewership, it has gone drastically down. All looking like it started back in 2014, where the viewership just started losing more and more of its interest, and from there, we've just seen the Oscars do anything and everything to try and get that audience back. They tried introducing a category for like the best blockbuster movie. That was controversial, and they got rid of it right away because it was just an excuse to bring in like the Marvel movies into the show and give superhero films their own award. Can't forget like one of the biggest catalysts of why it's hard for them to find a host for the Oscars, and that's when they fired Kevin Hart from hosting. Or even this year, what one of the biggest things was is they're trying to go ahead and shorten that show down because it is just way too long, and not everybody wants to sit there for 3 hours just to see other people collect awards, which led us to them trying to do risky things at the Oscars to go ahead and get viewers. Because I know there's gonna be a lot of people out there that think the whole Chris Rock and Will Smith situation was completely fake. It was staged to cause views and controversy, so everyone's talking about the Oscars like I am. Because if it wasn't for that situation, I don't really think I'd be making a video about it. No one wants to hear me say, yay, Oscars, this person got an award, that person got an award. It would have been one of my lowest viewed videos of the month, hurt me in the algorithm of YouTube, because people just aren't that interested when the Oscars go according to plan. So with the three hosts we had last night, Wanda Skies, Regina Hall, and Amy Schumer, I thought they were doing an okay job.
This year, the Academy hired 3 women to host because it's cheaper than hiring 1 man.
Representing Black women who are standing proud.
And living out loud. Yes.
Yes.
And I am representing unbearable white women who call the cops when you get a little too loud. Okay.
You know, I was very disappointed that Space Jam 2 did not get nominated in the special effects category for that hairline they gave LeBron James.
Oh my God, amazing.
It was really good.
As someone who was making Space Jam videos leading up to that movie, I can't tell you how many comments I would get about LeBron James's hair, and then just to see them do that on stage was wild. But then there are other times that people felt like they just took things a little too far, and they were purposely pushing the line to cause controversy and get people talking about those moments. One of those moments in particular was when Regina Hall gets up there and says that there was a COVID outbreak and that they need to go ahead and do a test on certain people, picking the most handsome and single bachelors in Hollywood, Simu Liu, Bradley Cooper, Timothy Chalamet, and making one of the first jokes at Will Smith that night.
Will Smith, you're married, but you know what? You're on the list and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here.
I think right there, Will Smith was just bubbling up in his chair, and if someone said something else, boy was not gonna take it. But that situation was controversial because a lot of people thought if you reverse those roles, it would not look pretty. And with today's modern standards, that's just very uncomfortable to do. And that's when I'm like, that's the thing that was staged. That was the stuff right there that was done on purpose so that you would talk about it after the Oscars. Well, Will Smith and Chris Rock wanted to outdo them. Then you had the one that just made me uncomfortable and wasn't that funny, where Amy Schumer starts making jokes that the people who didn't win are just seat fillers and there to fill up the room. Which that joke in itself, sure, okay, that's kind of funny, a little bit mean, but it's poking fun and kind of having fun at the people who didn't win an Oscar. But then she goes out of her way to pick up Mary Jane, Kristen Dunst, and just have her stand off to the side right there as she's making other jokes. That was just an uncomfortable moment. And that's just where the Oscars have become. This was like the first time in like a long time since I was watching the Oscars that it just felt extremely unprofessional, didn't feel to like the level of quality you expect from an award show like the Oscars. This was like the first time it felt like an MTV Movie Award, like some sort of trashy TV. And it kind of sucks that's the direction they have to go in to go ahead and get viewership. And it really takes away from some of those other more beautiful moments that happen at the Oscars, because I do want to talk about some of the people that won awards. Like Coda winning Best Picture, I love that for Coda. I thought Coda was one of the best movies of last year. It was such a powerful story, great characters, such a heartwarming ending. I felt it was very much deserved, as well as who won Best Supporting Actor. Troy Kotsur, who gave his speech entirely in sign language and was bringing me to tears. That's like an amazing moment right there. I also thought the musical performances on stage were really good, particularly the Encanto ones. Those were some great musical numbers to have and made the show feel lively, even if I think Best Animated Picture should have gone to Mitchell vs. the Machines. But whatever, Encanto was still a beautiful movie that I love too. All those beautiful moments kind of ruined by the entire world just talking about one incident that, yes, I'm finally gonna go ahead and talk about it. So just to bring you up to speed in case you didn't know, of course, I'll play you the little moment.
Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Now in this moment, you even see Will Smith laughing at the joke and just kind of playing along with it, but Jada Pinkett Smith's face is not laughing. She's uncomfortable, and I'm assuming as soon as Will Smith saw that his wife was hurt, he decided to stand up and stick up for her, going up to Chris Rock, slapping him in front of the entire room, and then proceeding to curse him out, saying to keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. And look, I was just like everybody. I thought this was part of the ceremony. It seemed like a harmless little bit. When Will Smith was walking up on stage, I thought maybe he was just gonna like playfully grab him or be like, apologize to my wife, you punk. But if you were an American viewer watching this event, your TV most likely went silent, it glitched out a little bit, and then you were zooming in on an angry Will Smith face with no audio, and I was like, oh crap, this is real. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I went from laughing to just being completely shocked and wanting to know right away, what did they just censor out of my TV? And thanks to the internet, I got to see the uncensored clip, and wow, what a crazy moment. It's even more crazy right now that the world is just so heavily divided on who was in the right and who was in the wrong. You have the side that's defending Chris Rock, saying yes, maybe it was an out-of-taste joke making fun of Jada Pinkett Smith's disease of alopecia, and that maybe isn't something you should go ahead and poke fun at. But at the end of the day, Chris Rock is a comedian and he's there to do his job, tell jokes, and what Will Smith did kind of takes away what a lot of comedians have been saying over the years, that they just can't joke about anything without someone getting offended, and that it's just harder and harder to be one. And then you have the people who defend Will Smith, saying that's his wife, that's his family member. Someone goes ahead and hurts them, makes them feel bad, it was right of him to go ahead and defend them, even if maybe it shouldn't have been with violence. And I'm not here to pick a side. I see wrong and right in both sides, because I am a believer that a comedian should be able to tell his jokes even if they are offensive, because at the end of the day, they're just jokes and meant to make people laugh. But on the other side, like, I'll put myself in Will Smith's shoes. If that was somebody making fun of my wife and talking about her like like that in front of the whole world, televised on the Oscars, I think I'd have a hard time controlling myself as well and not wanting to stand up for that person. But I think what hurts me the most is moments later, Will Smith wins his Oscar as Best Actor in his movie King Richard, a film I loved so much last year. And I still really love it. I highly recommend it. But his speech and the way he won the award is like all the proof you need that this was not staged. Because in his speech, Will Smith apologizes to the Academy, slightly addresses the situation, gives off some really powerful quotes.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. Thank you. Hope the Academy invites me back. Thank you.
And if this was something staged, you wouldn't go ahead and also make it part of your Oscar speech that sticks with you for your entire life. Because that was Will Smith's first ever Oscar. Does he really want some made up stage joke of slapping Chris Rock to be tethered to his Oscar speech for all of eternity? No, that's not what the man wanted. That was supposed to be a beautiful, heartwarming moment, a triumph for Will Smith, who has been in the industry for years, all now kind of overshadowed. It's even crazier when after the event, LAPD was called and apparently Chris Rock denied filing a police report to Will Smith. The Academy had to go ahead and tweet out saying that they don't condone violence, and other journalists finding out that it is within the code of conduct of the Academy that if you do something like that where you're violent towards another member, they have the right to take your award away. So Will Smith could possibly have his Oscar taken away. It really is just so mind-blowing that all of this happened, and I'm really curious to see what the outcome of these events will be for Will Smith and Chris Rock. These are two different people I respect in the industry. I get joy out of their work. I really wouldn't like to see either one of their careers suffer out of this event in time. But again, putting that controversy aside, what happens now to the Oscars? Because you got to think a lot of people are now going to be tuning in next year. So will the Oscars presenters and producers try and manipulate situations where this could happen again? Not necessarily someone getting hit on stage, but someone getting so violently roasted in front of everybody that they cause a scene. Or just plant in more controversial moments just so that people watch, and that just makes me sad, man. That is not what the Oscars should be, is a show where controversial moments happen for the internet to talk about. It should be a celebration of these awards, but then again, the celebration of those awards barely get any views. It really seems like there would be something in the near future where these awards are just announced on the internet or over some sort of YouTube video instead of a big presentation. Either way, those are just my thoughts and opinions. It's something I wanted to get off my chest here, and since we're in the movie space, I thought it'd be worth talking about, but I want to hear from you guys. What is your stance on this? Not just on the Chris Rock and Will Smith situation, but the Oscars as a whole. What could they change? How could they make it more lively but keep it professional? I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.